Hello, mga Kawan Luna.
Magandang gabi mga Kawan Luna
Happy
at
New Year
Happy New
sa inyong
Year!
lahat. Mona, how was your New Year? Mukhang ang saya-saya mo ngayon, 2021.
Tumalon ako. Tumalon ka ba, attorney?
Konti. Para mag-add ng konting hype.
Totoo kaya yun?
Ewan ko lang Pero wala namang masama pag ginawa natin, no?
Saya, attorney. Nagpa-games, kainan.
At saka ang maganda dito sa ating New Year 2021, wala nang mga paputok.
Opo.
Although meron ko konti, no? But according to the DNR, hindi nagkaroon ng pollution problem tayo ngayong taon. Kasi ang baba ng nagpaputok, no? In terms of statistics, konti lang nagpaputok.
Mga
At
pampaingay
very few rin ang na-injure or na-disgrasya sa paputok and even yung mga stray bullets, no? Although meron pa rin mga unfortunate incidents, but very low compared to previous years. So, nagpapasalamat tayo sa ating presidente for really emphasizing yung kanyang gusto na tama naman for the good of the Filipinos na dapat wala nang paputok. At walang magpapaputok ng baril. And this was observed na nangyari talaga this 2021. So that
ang ganda ng
the new year
result.
Happier amid the pandemic, no? So, in your case, Mona, may mga palaro ka ba or mga gigs na ginawa sa bahay?
Ano lang,
kasi bawal
nagkaraoke lang
lumabas,
ako.
Ha?
Nagkaraoke lang sa banyo.
Nag-marathon ka ba doon? Tumakbo-takbo ka ba doon? Nag-jump?
Jump lang, kanta-kanta, gano'n. Kayo po, attorney?
Ako naman, hindi talaga because I promised myself and the Filipino people na low-key yung aking celebration. It was more of a commemoration of the spirit of Christmas and the holidays and the New Year more than anything else. Kung may pagkain man, konti lang for the house, for the people there, mga households, and para just enough to fill the stomachs, no? Pero not really to celebrate because we have this pandemic and then there are really many victims of calamities, man-made and natural calamities. So, hindi talaga tayo nag-celebrate. Pero I'm still happy because kahit paano naka-ease ng konti yung ating sufferings, no, as a nation and in the world because naro-roll out na yung mga vaccines.
Yes, that's a good news, attorney.
May mga babatiin ka ba dyan na mga kaibigan mo this New Year?
Marami, attorney. Ayun.
Mauna ka na bago ako.
Happy New Year sa aking mga pamilya, mga kapamilya.
Ilonggo mo para mas maganda.
Sa Yamat family, kag sa Ugarte family, and sa Pedraha family, Martinez family, Happy New Year sa aking mga kaibigan. At sa aking siyempre sa ating mga taga-suporta, Happy New Year. Salamat po at hindi kayo nagsasawang manood at maging updated sa aming episodes.
Sa One Luna.
Opo.
Okay, so ako naman I would like to greet our brothers, sisters, and bunso sa the Fraternal Order of Eagles at ating mga kababayan here and abroad, lalong-lalo na mga migrants and OFWs, at saka yung ating mga Filipinos na hanggang ngayon ay nasa kanilang mga bahay because of the strict protocols na sinusunod natin because we have to protect ourselves and the public health. So, nandito pa rin ang problema natin sa pandemya. But what is very nice is that nagsimula na po ang pag-distribute, pag-vaccinate kontra dito sa COVID-19. So, nagsimula na yung rollout sa iba-ibang parte ng mundo. And I'm very happy to tell this to the public. Although alam na ng iba na nangyayari na ito. But we hope that in the Philippines, darating na yung vaccines natin sooner than expected. No? With the budget having been signed by the President, no? Recently, yung GAA at saka may appropriation na for the vaccines. Nakalaan na po yung pondo. So, we are very happy na sooner than expected, magkakaroon na tayo ng mga vaccines dito. But of course, hanggang ngayon, we have to be very careful pa rin. Dahil contagious pa rin yung virus. So we have to wash our hands with soap regularly.
Stay at home kung wala naman
Tapos,
gagawin.
gagamit ng alcohol
Opo.
or sanitizer. And then, keep physical distancing, just like
Opo.
us here. And then, we have to wear our mask, our
Pero-
face mask and face
Opo.
shield. But in our case, it's enough that we have the
Opo.
face shield. So
Pero
that
ikaw,
makasalita
attorney,
tayo.
mas gusto mo ba yung... Ako kasi mas gusto ko din yung naging effect ng pandemic. Kasi di ba nagkaroon ka ng time sa family. Alam mo
time
yun,
rin sa sarili mo.
time sa sarili mo, ang
Oo.
dami mong na-discover. Kaya alam mo
Yeah.
yun, pag may masamang nangyari, maganda din yung kapalit eh. Which is, dun mo lang
Well,
nakita
meron din
yung
mga positive things
diba?
na nangyari. But of course, we don't really wish this
Opo,
to be,
opo, hindi naman.
na humaba pa, no?
Opo.
We want this to end as soon as possible
Opo.
kasi merong disruption sa buhay natin at sa ekonomiya natin. But something good also happened.
Habang
And
wala pa
I
yung
agree with you,
vaccine,
Mona, on
opo.
this. So, ano bang naka-install sa atin na mamaya, Mona?
Ayun, super excited ako kasi
Bakit?
yung guest natin
Akala ko yung regalo ko sa iyo. Meron akong regalo.
Nalimutan ko na.
Hindi ba yun?
Mamaya, attorney.
So, ano bang in store for One Luna mamaya?
Mamaya, ang guest natin si Miss Ali.
Miss Agnes Ali, no?
Apo, Miss Agnes Ali.
Actually, her name is Agnes Alimbog.
Alimbog,
She is
yes.
the project director of Filipinos World.
World.
So, isa itong programa na ang focus niya is really to help our Filipinos.
To be
fellow
the
Filipinos.
voices of the Filipinos,
Yes,
attorney.
especially yung mga
Opo.
migrants and OFWs, mga
What a
overseas
noble
Filipinos.
job, di ba?
Sa ngayon, meron tayong pending bill sa Congress, yung Department of Filipino Overseas and Foreign Employment. So, I hope in 2021 maipasa na ito ng Kongreso at ito ay makakatulong
Praying.
talaga ng labis sa ating mga OFW
Opo.
and other Filipinos overseas.
Yes.
So, bago tayo mag-continue, we'd like to tell our televiewers, our viewers and supporters na yung One Luna po ay pwede niyong panoorin tuwing Thursday, Webes,
8
8
p.m.
ng gabi sa TV Koto Official,
Sa Twitter at TV Koto Official,
sa Instagram at TV Koto Official.
and in our YouTube channel, TV Koto.
So, 4 na platforms po yan
Opo.
na kung saan pwede niyong panoorin ang inyong paboritong programang One Luna.
Yes,
So,
attorney.
and I have my co-host here who is always supportive of me,
Yes, attorney.
Attorney Manuelito Manny Luna, si Ramona Mona Yamat. Siya po ay palaging nandyan at she balances me here sa program and provides the inspiration also to our, not only to the women, viewers and friends of ours na palaging tumatangkilik sa programa, but to everybody.
Yes.
She's also the inspiration of the young, no? Kasi ako, young ones na lang eh.
Diyan ka pa din man, attorney.
Pwede pa ba? But we have a big group supporting us, yung millennials sa Gen X. Maraming salamat po sa kanila, sa inyong suporta sa
Yes,
programang
thank
One
you so
Luna. And of
much.
course, yung ating mga kababayan na walang sawang tumatangkilik at nanonood ng One Luna.
Mga OFWs natin.
OFWs rin at mga Pilipinos na naniniwala kay Attorney Manuelito Manny Luna at kay Ramona Mona Yamat.
Yamat.
Just call her Mona.
Mona na lang po,
Masyadong
ate.
mahaba. And myself, just call me Manny.
Pag Ramona, parang pinagalitan mo ko.
Parang
Ramona,
kung galit
ganun.
ka, Ramona. Pero kung hindi galit sa ang nanay mo, Mona.
Yun.
Oo. So,
Opo.
kami po dito sa programa ay ganito. Sometimes we have to lighten up the discussion dahil po sa pinagdadaanan ng ating mga kababayan
Opo.
ngayong taon
Opo.
because of the pandemic. But as I've said, there's a silver lining. Meron na pong mga vaccines na nire-roll out sa iba't ibang bansa. And soon, makakarating din yan dito sa Pilipinas.
Yes, praying for
So,
that, attorney.
mamaya, no? Yung
Mamaya.
ating guest, nagpre-prepare na siguro yon si Miss Agnes Alimbog.
Marami
So,
tayong matutunan sa kanya.
Marami tayong matutunan sigurado mamaya sa kanya.
Stay
Okay,
tuned.
so magbabalik po ang One Luna.
kulang na nga kami sa tubig. Minsan na nga lang may tubig, gabi na nga lang. Tapos kulay brown pa.
So kulang tayo talaga ng water impounding just for the household use.
We have to balance the need to protect public health saka yung quest for justice.
Short but very striking, may impact.
There's no balance there at all kasi everyone is scared for their lives.
Pag document kasi hindi mo siya makikita kung authentic ba siya, genuine, sa video conference.
Dahil nabawasan po yung kanilang workday, mababawasan din po yung kanilang kita.
I think nature is sending us a message to go back to the basics, embrace living a minimal life.
Tuwing Huwebes, alas 8 ng gabi sa TV ko to.
When you trust the women, nai-empower mo na
You
siya.
need to understand na lahat talaga nagkakaroon ng adjustments.
Explain yourself too much, we're all in survival mode.
Forgetting is not healing, you know?
Kailangan ng psychological clearance.
Dito pa rin sa programang
Women!
Women!
Every Tuesday naman at 10 a.m. Pampaganda ng umaga.
Pampa
GV.
Yes, pampagood vibes. Ayan.
Hello! Andito naman po tayo sa ating programang One Luna sa ating studio ng Brown Pond Productions. At ngayong gabi ay meron po tayong guest and resource person. At itong kaibigan po natin, kaibigan ko po siya sa Facebook at ngayon ay magiging real world na kaibigan ko because I like her style and sincerity at yung pag-accept niya sa ating invitation, it's a great honor, Mona, no?
Yes po.
Para sa atin, sa One
Magandang
Luna.
gabi, attorney.
Magandang gabi rin, Mona. I know na medyo may hangover ka pa dahil sa New Year, but we have to, you know, do our job and I will not anymore make this long, but I would like to focus on our guest,
Miss Agnes.
Miss Agnes Alimbog. Agnes Ali, in short, siya po yung ating guest ngayon. She's the program director of the Filipinos World. I suppose she has a lot of things to tell us about herself bago natin tanungin yung mga prepare nating mga tanong which relate to the Media Workers Welfare Bill at yung adjustment na ginawa ng ating mga kasama sa media dahil sa pandemya na ating dinadanas ngayon. So, Agnes, you are now on One Luna. Magandang gabi.
Good evening, Miss Agnes. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year din. Yes.
Magandang hapon din, and all our viewers via Facebook, if it's live streaming in Facebook and also YouTube channel. Magandang hapon and a happy New Year. And I'm so privileged, and it's my pride also to be your guest for this afternoon or for this evening, and to be the second guest is really you know, I feel humbled and honored to be here in One Luna. So as just a background, you know, when you invited me as your guest, I felt like, oh, a media worker, and I've been a media worker when I graduated from college. I graduated from Xavier University in Ateneo de Cagayan de Oro.
Yeah.
So from then I had a short stint of being a journalist. It was a bit of was this really a work? And I felt like it wasn't really a work because the meager income that you get from being a journalist, a print journalist, is not enough for your needs. So
right now, Agnes, I learned that you are the program director of the Filipinos World. Can you tell us more about this this
Program.
program.
Right. Okay. The Filipinos world, it's coined from, I'm an ex-OFW. I work in Dubai for 12
I
years.
see. Yeah, wow.
That's a long
So,
time.
coming back in the country last year, it gave me part of realization that there are a lot of things that you want to bring in the world, and especially to the Filipinos. And being an ex-OFW, I'm proud that Filipinos were able to somehow put their name in the world, because Filipinos are known for being hospitable. In Dubai itself, most of the hospital sectors do prefer Filipinos as workers.
I agree with you,
Yes.
Agnes. So,
Yeah.
when we speak of Filipinos world, you are referring to our OFWs, right?
Not just the OFWs, even the migrants.
The
So I'm just
migrants, yeah.
on the overseas Filipinos, because when you talk about overseas Filipinos, it's just like the contract workers,
I
as they may
see.
define it. But when you talk Filipinos in the world, it covers all Filipinos across the globe. So with
Even the dual citizens, I think,
yes,
are
of course.
yeah, are also considered Filipinos, and they are recognized as such under our law, even if they have embraced other nationalities. And it's very good to find out that you have this program exclusively for Filipinos around the world. I'm very happy to
Right.
hear that, Agnes. So,
Thank you.
we are happy to have you in the program, Juan Luna. And just to inform you, we have a sizable audience or viewership who are Filipinos abroad. And they are migrants,
Yeah.
and some are contract workers, and some are skilled workers. And I'm very proud of our kababayan. They are really our modern day heroes. And you are one of them because you have spent over a decade abroad, and you have contributed a lot to the Philippines.
That's exactly true. And just to add with that, the concept of Filipinos world, I've been an advocate or OFW advocate. Way back when I was in Dubai, I was helping a lot of traffic women, especially the women, or overseas Filipino workers who had problems with their employers and something like that, or have some issues. So there was a coordination with the government level and some advocate groups. So that experience molded me to, or honed me that, there are a lot of things to share about the Filipinos, not just the program.
Yeah, I will have to cut you there, Agnes, because we will start asking some questions regarding your experience as a journalist or as a media man vis-a-vis the Media Workers Welfare Bill. So I would like to shoot some questions. We'll do it alternately. I'll ask the first question and then followed by my co-host Mona Yamat, and so on and so forth. And then we will interact after each question is being answered. So my first question, Agnes, is this: how long have you been doing media work?
Right.
All in all. I
Okay.
know that up to now you are considered a journalist or a media man, but for how long have you been doing this kind of work? A very noble profession, if I may say.
Okay. With the Filipinos word, of course, it's less than a year. But if you may consider that experience I had after college, that's already like around 15 years ago. So, and then I came back. I embarked into journalism or into the media recently. So that's quite a bit part of an experience from my end.
Well, in my case, Agnes, I think there's something common between us. I also started out as a part-time writer in a local newspaper. And then later on, I transitioned to radio part-time after I became a lawyer. So I'm very proud of this profession because we have this social responsibility, not only just criticizing government or public officials or agencies, but really to contribute to social change. Because I believe that media men are really the port estate, and they are social agents. And all over the world, media men or journalists have been contributing their fair share to society. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I so agree with you. And we wanted to have to present the truth and to have a fair, square what's this fair, square information to the citizens, to the Filipinos, not just the Filipinos, but all sectors across the board who are able to transmit the information.
Yeah, an unbiased reporting of events as it happens, how it happens, and where it happens. Although sometimes we are misinterpreted, but really, media men are really objective and biased social agents. They just report what is happening. Although sometimes they take up social causes, but that's an exception. Generally, media men and journalists, they are agents of change, and they communicate what is happening to the public.
Yes.
Yeah, Mona has some questions to you, Agnes. So, Mona, shoot the question.
Hi, Miss Agnes. So I have a very special question for you because, I'm very curious also that what made you do this job in spite that this is dangerous, or, alam mo naman minsan delikado talaga lalo pag nasa field ka. Ano yung nag-i-inspire sa'yo na gawin mo yung trabaho mo?
Okay, that's a very nice question, Mona, and thank you for that. To me, I don't find it very risky at the moment because I see with this COVID, I haven't gone through yet of going to places, interviewing or something. And I'm not an investigative journalist. Okay, my specialization is into presenting inspirational stories, issues, news bits that can enlighten or inspire Filipinos across the globe. So the difference with the investigative journalist is their lives are risky because, like, for example, they can go to Marawi, they can have assign a bit of information and investigate, for example, cases when it affects lives of the poor. So I'm not into that yet. And that's why I say that my kind of thing is not risky for me, but rather it's inspirational. The source of inspiration, I would say, is coming from the lives of people, the lives of the Filipinos.
Yes.
And that to me is the motivation, even not just an inspiration, but the motivation of doing this passion that I have been for quite a period of time. And just so to add on with my with what I'm doing at the moment, I also have my blog site. So that's why I write a lot of things. I write poems, I write stories.
I'm very happy, Miss Agnes, because you're being the voice of the Filipinos that can speak of what are their situation, what they need from the society or from the government. You are the one doing it for them. That's why I'm very honored that now I'm talking to you and you're sharing this with us. Thank you, Miss Agnes.
Yeah, Agnes, taking off from that, I have a follow-up question. While you say that, the Filipinos are your inspiration, but early on, when you were studying and after graduating from college and doing some journalistic work, did you have some role model or models from which you draw certain kind of influence or inspiration to improve on the craft? Because when we are new to a particular job, we tend to pick up from the veterans or from the seasoned professionals on how to improve on the craft. So did you have that kind of thing, a sort of a role model?
Right. when when I was in college, I was a socio-political activist, and
Oh, I see.
there I was even doing some organizing, political organizing.
Mhm.
At that stage, I didn't have any person whom I admire to do things. It's more on the ideology. It's more on what you can do for your country, being nationalistic, being patriotic. From then on, so I mean, when I evolved from that experience after college, I moved out from the country, and I was soul searching. I would say that. And coming back here, I was able to see that Christian Amanpour and for current events and Oprah Winfrey for entertainment are the kind of people you'd like to be, because their passion, their motivation, and even the source of inspiration that what they do is very motivational to me. When you look at Christian Amanpour, she's fearless.
Yeah.
Even if she will be sent to Afghanistan, she will be sent to Iraq, she doesn't fear, because she wanted to bring the truth, fair and just news to the world. So if only I have that courage and I have that fearless, as a woman, right? Fearless woman like she does. Well, I'd love to be like her. And for Oprah, her inspirational thoughts, it gives you a bit of, a life that exists with all the positive energy you can bring out to yourself
Yeah,
and to the people.
I can always agree, Mona, with Agnes. These two women that she mentioned are really inspirational in many ways. And I've heard Miss Amanpour reporting in dangerous places, and it is as if it was just an ordinary place. She did not really exhibit any form of fear, because I think what's at the back of her mind is that she's just, reporting what should be reported and told to the world, and that she owes no one, or she has not offended anyone, because she's unbiased, she's objective, and just doing her role, a fair share in the scheme of things, so to speak.
Yes. So, Miss Agnes, for our future, media man or journalists, what could you advise, or would you discourage them or encourage them to be like you? Or what are the advantages of disadvantages to be like you?
Well, I cannot even consider myself as somebody in the media work. I don't have name yet. I'm not like, okay, if you talk about Karen Davila or Corina Sanchez, they're already at a pedestal, I would say, and you bring their names, everybody know them. I don't have that. I've been telling my friends even about that. But what my source of inspiration, and even with the call maybe to people that who would like to bring or to be in the media field, is that if that's your passion, if that's the willingness of yourself to do it, then do it, because the passion coming from within, or the inner self, and it is being brought outside, will have a good effect, or will have a good result. And everybody does have, you do something, and the passion, you bring out that passion in there, and the effect, the outcome,
It'll be beautiful, if it's your passion. You will not, we will not see it as a work. You will see it as something you love. Like, you will not see the time already, because you love what you're doing.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Agnes has been doing.
That's
And by the way, Agnes, the term media has evolved over time. So we don't understand anymore the term media as the traditional media, but as an evolved term. So anyone, even those just confined to their houses, especially now because of the pandemic, can be part of the media, because media has evolved through the years. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, if I may add that, even attorney, there are what we call as the social media.
Correct.
And if you want to qualify them? Are they the media workers? Maybe, obviously they are, because they can call themselves as social media workers, influencers, media
Yes.
influencers, but not
Bloggers. Yes.
categorized in that aspect. The
Correct.
media, in the traditional definition of media, media is center,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
why it's media or medium, not you call it center.
Correct.
You balance in every aspect of the news. There's no
Wow.
left, there's no
That's
right, there's
nice.
no inclination to it.
Correct.
Now,
That's
are we defining the social media or the media influencers at the rise of time? You cannot even qualify which one is true and which one brings the real or the genuine story, because some people are telling here that's fake news, that's blah blah blah. So how on earth can you qualify them being as media workers? And I'm sorry to say that I think we really have to redefine what a media worker is. Would that be, because everybody would like to claim that they are.
Yes.
Yes,
Correct.
I agree with you, Mr.
And I believe that with the coming in of the bloggers, the media influencers, social media workers, there's really a need to redefine the fast evolving term media. But I have another question, Agnes, for you. I know that we may not qualify under this, but for the sake of others who are really media workers, I would like to bring to your attention that Congress has passed on second reading the bill on media workers' welfare. And this bill seeks to provide increased protection in terms of insurance, security of tenure, and minimum wages and social benefits to media workers, which are not limited to journalists, reporters, but even to cameramen,
Yes.
lightmen, and everybody involved in media work, including those perhaps doing some bloggings, no? So as a member of the media, perhaps not in the mainstream, but as a media, just the same worker, I consider myself as a media worker, although I own a media business. How would you react to this bill? Is this long overdue, or this is something that is really what our media workers have been clamoring for the longest time?
First and foremost, I would say this has long been overdue as a law, as a bill. Now, I read that it's already in the second reading in the
Yes.
Congress. Thank you to Congresswoman Nina Laduran for initiating or she was the principal author of this bill. I really have a notion that there's something wrong with the system of the country with regards to the way we perceive the media workers. Because look, media workers bring news, and regardless whether it affects the cameraman, researchers, and so on, that has been elaborated within the bill. But this kind of protection and even the enhancement for their security and other benefits would have been taken long time ago, because news are vital information to the society.
I
And when you
agree.
talk about vital information, that would have been something that be translated and be known to the world, to the country, and to the world. And I would say, why now? But yes, thank you so much, because it has been done this time, but it would have been already progressed when we have done that long time ago. And there was already a protection, and media man would not just be shoot over time, overnight, or one day go to the hills or mountain and so on. I mean, maybe talk about the massacre that had happened in Cotabato, but something that protects them, that's something that not just to them, but the families, the beneficiaries in itself. And I'm surprised, because I hadn't known this, that there's just around 500 pesos daily wage. Is that's how enough is it for the media workers? That's quite like it's a crap.
It's a pittance.
It saddens me.
Little
Yeah.
amount.
Little amount.
Yes, risky, I would say, especially in the investigative journalists. It's very risky. Their lives are at stake.
And
Even at rain, even they don't even care what's the sun or what's the rain that they face through, because holding the camera, for example, or the cameraman, just to get focus on their subject. How is that?
Yeah.
To me, that's something that really has been done a long time ago.
Correct. It's long overdue, and media men have contributed so much to the development and progress of a society, not only in the Philippines. So we owe them this kind of benefits that they have longed for, and we should have been given long time ago. But just the same, we are happy that Congresswoman Nina Taduran of ACT-CIS has sponsored or authored this bill, and hopefully in 2021 Congress will pass this bill, and this will become a law upon signing of the President. So so much as I want to ask some more questions, Agnes, but we have a limited time, so I would like to give you about 2 minutes to 3 minutes for some sort of a words of inspiration to our media workers and other aspiring individuals, and also to promote your program, The Filipinos World.
Right. Okay. Thank you for that, Attorney Manuel and Mona, Miss Mona. It's my privilege, and I'm so honored and humbled to be your guest for this afternoon. Thank you, really. And for those who would like to become a media worker in the long or in future, or if you're thinking doing it right now, do it. The time is very precious, and express your passion and put your heart and soul into it, because that's the most important thing that you can only rely on when you do your thing and your craft. I would say, and never give up, and always have that in the platform that be fair. Express what is necessary, and tell the truth. That's
well said, Agnes. I'm very proud and happy to hear that we have a guest who was once an overseas worker and a long-time journalist with us, joining us in the program One Luna with Mona Yamat here.
Thank you so much, Miss Agnes.
Hopefully, this will not be the first and the last interview of the program with you, Agnes. We are very happy to have you in the show.
Thank you, Miss Agnes. Continue to be the voice of the Filipinos. I salute you for this, Miss Agnes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Salamat. So, there you have it, Miss Agnes Ali, the project director of the Filipinos World. And we are very happy to hear that she's serving as an inspiration not only to the local kababayan, but also the overseas Filipinos and the migrants abroad. Thank you, Agnes.
Kulang na nga kami sa tubig. Minsan na nga lang may tubig, gabi na nga lang. Tapos kulay brown pa.
So kulang tayo talaga ng water impounding just for the household use.
We have to balance the need to protect public health saka yung quest for justice.
Short but very striking, may impact.
There's no balance there at all kasi everyone was scared for their lives.
Pag document kasi hindi mo siya makikita kung authentic ba siya, genuine, sa video conference.
Dahil nabawasan po yung kanilang workplace, mababawasan din po yung kanilang kita.
I think nature is sending us a message to go back to the basics, embrace living a minimal life.
Tuwing Huwebes, alas 8 ng gabi sa TV Goto.
When you trust the women, nai-empower mo na
You
siya.
need to understand na lahat talaga nagkakaroon ng adjustments.
Blame yourself too much. We're all on survival. Forgetting is not healing, you know?
Kailangan ng psychological clearance.
Dito pa rin sa programang
Women! Every Tuesday naman at 10 a.m. Pampaganda ng umaga.
Pampa GV.
Yes, pampagod vibes. Ayan.
nagbabalik po ang Juan Luna dito sa TV Koto by Brown Pond Productions. Kanina lang po, Mona, ay na-interview natin si Miss Agnes Alimbog or Agnes Ali ng The Filipinos World. At natutunan natin ang maraming bagay sa kanya. But I would like to start the discussion post-interview doon sa Media Workers Welfare Bill. Alam mo, itong proposed bill na ito or batas ay long overdue.
Napaka-importante na ito.
Importante itong batas na to kasi alam naman natin na hindi lahat ng media men ay tumatanggap ng sapat in terms of benefits, salaries, wages, allowances.
Wala kasing tama eh. I mean,
hindi pa na hindi na standardized eh.
Opo.
At saka siguro it's about time that we really elevate them to the level where they are supposed to be. Kasi sila po ay major contributors to social change. At sila po ay malaki ang inaambag, ang ginagampanang papel sa ating society. So yung Media Workers Welfare Bill is a very good proposed bill kasi ang batas na ito, ang bill na ito kung magiging batas ay magbibigay ng insurance benefits for disability, death, etc. Tapos magkakaroon ng security of tenure yung ating mga media workers.
Tamang sweldo,
at least minimum. And then pwede silang maging regular after 6 months probation.
Opo.
No? And then, hindi lang yun, Mona. Meron pang mga social benefits like
SSS.
Iko-cover sila ng SSS, PhilHealth, sa Pag-ibig.
Ang ganda nun.
So, they will enjoy the same protections, security of tenure, and benefits like any other workers. But I think it's also okay kung, for example, yung mga media companies will even add some more. So, hindi lang sa minimum, but if they add some more benefits, then that's even better. Kasi, due naman talaga sa kanila yan, at saka importante yung ginagampanan nilang papel sa ating society.
Mga delikadong scene
Meron pa mga delikadong mga sitwasyon na they are facing on a day-to-day basis, lalo na yung mga reporters and investigative journalists. But of course, this is not the only reason. Ang malaking rason dito is because the services that they render really qualify them for these benefits. In fact, dapat bayaran sila ng mas mataas than the usual without really disturbing yung equality of the situation, kung equal man sila with some other professionals. But because of the nature of their job and the risk involved, it's just and fair na bayaran sila ng mas mataas na rate. So, and I'm in favor of that. Kahit po tayo ay media owner, we are encouraging Congress to really pass this law.
Yes.
I thank Congresswoman Nina Taduran of ACT-CIS for authoring this proposed bill. Thank you, Congresswoman Nina.
Thank you, Congresswoman.
At saka yung NPC pala, yung National Press Club, ay sumusuporta din dito sa bill na ito. And rest assured that si Attorney Manuelito Luna and of course my co-host, Ramona Mona Yamat, will be supportive of this bill. And hopefully, Congress will pass this bill as soon as possible.
Yes.
So, Mona, ano yung natutunan mo kanina sa ating interview kay Miss Agnes Alimbog?
Well, ang dami actually, attorney. Kasi, unang-una, dati ko pa naman nakikita yon na talagang ang mga media man natin, journalists natin, reporters, isa sila sa tool na kailangan talaga ng Pilipino para mabuksan yung mata nila kung ano ang totoong nangyayari sa mundo. Although we have Facebook na, we have kahit ano-anong social media, meron na. Pero kasi iba pag reporters talaga kasi alam mong hindi bias yung nire-report nila. Objective.
Wala silang sinaside or kinakampihan. Although sometimes they are misunderstood. But, journalists in general, they just do their job. Huwag po tayo magalit sa mga journalists sa mga
Kasi kung wala ka namang maling
media
ginagawa,
men.
di ba? Hindi ka naman magiging
But of course, kung
masama yun.
nag-exceed naman sila,
Diba?
there is an overreach, sumusobra,
Oo,
meron naman
mali din.
tayong libel and cyber libel law, no? Pero I will not even encourage people to file libel cases against journalists because journalists usually give you the opportunity also to reply or mag-react para ibigay mo yung side mo so that you can clear your name. So, I'm not really encouraging people to file cases against media men. Kawawa naman at saka we must understand that they are like us. Ordinary mortals, no? May mga pamilya sila, meron sila mga loved ones din na pinoprotektahan, and they are just doing their job. Now, it's a different story kung sakali, wala talagang basehan yung kanilang pinagsasabi at ang intention nila ay sirain ka lang talaga.
Yun, mali na yun.
Meron ka namang remedies under the law. So, we have to be thankful that we have the Port Estate, our media men, our journalists, who report the news as it happens, where it happens, and how it happens. Objectively and impartially. Unbiased reporting, so to speak. So, maganda yung ating exchanges kanina. You know, Agnes Alimbog is one na nasa media, although not in the mainstream media, pero considered to be part of the media na nagsiserve bilang inspirasyon sa ating mga Pilipinos at sa mga OFWs and migrants abroad. So, bago tayo magtapos muna, let's remind our viewers na pwede nilang panoorin yung One Luna every Thursday at 8 p.m. sa FB at TV Koto Official.
Sa Twitter at TV Koto Official.
Sa Instagram at TV Koto Official.
And our YouTube channel is TV Koto.
Okay, so that's loud and clear. So, salamat po sa ating mga ka-One Luna, One Luna Nation, mga kababayan, mga OFW, mga migrants, and other Filipinos who are helping us and supporting us dito sa programang One Luna sa TV Koto, at ito ay pinoproduce ng Brown Pond Productions. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, everyone! Enjoy!